Let's go ahead and intro this podcast. Welcome to the next installment of Blassic, man. It is me, your host, Louis B, and
your boy K-Rod. What up, fellas? How you doing, ladies?
First and foremost, I am so happy to be back in here doing Blassic. I don't even know how long it's been since the last episode, y'all. We are sorry, but life is life. You know what I'm saying? And yeah, we are back. And hey, the movie came out, and I hit Kev up. I was like, shit, what better way to come back than for this, man?
Exactly.
We are doing the highly anticipated at this point. Man. So many years in the making at this point. Black Panther, Wakanda Forever. Man, Black Panther 2 to some of y'all. Wakanda Forever to some of y'all. Black Panther to most of y'all.
Wakanda to some niggas. That's just the name of the movie.
That black movie.
Right.
To a lot of y'all. Yeah, man, we are happy to be doing this movie. Sheesh, man. I hope that y'all actually enjoyed the review that we did for the initial trailer that we put out a long time ago. I think that, you know what I'm saying, for what we saw in the movie, I think we was pretty spot on with our analysis and speculating what could happen. I think we were pretty spot on. So yeah, this episode is not going to be full of spoilers. I mean, we're going to give you the basic plot, like what happened, like the general consensus of what happened, but we really just want to take time to appreciate this work of art. We have not even reviewed Black Panther 1 yet, but
I wanted to do that before we did that, but yeah.
We'll definitely get to it. This movie here, like, since it just came out, it's new, it's fresh. You know, I think a lot of people will look at Blassic, especially if we do like new movies. People will look to Blassic to say, do I want to go see this movie or not? Like, let me see two niggas that I know are really cool with movies. Let me see what they think about it. And I appreciate y'all that listen to the podcast and then go look at movies and then have y'all own opinion about it. A lot of good opinions about this movie, first and foremost, man. Heard nothing but great. I ain't gonna say nothing. I've heard great things, and you know what I'm saying? I've heard some less than great things. But this podcast ain't for you niggas. This is for this podcast is for the niggas that like this movie.
We're gonna get to it.
Cause I ain't gonna cat with y'all. Like, if you ain't like the movie, like
I
why?
got some ignorant shit I want to say.
Like, why?
Specifically to the niggas, but let's get into the movie itself first. So we're gonna get into the movie itself first.
Let's do it, man. First of all, we already know that the cast and crew is charged with a very tall task of trying to figure out how to maneuver in a movie without our dear friend Chadwick Boseman. I think that was such a tremendous loss, and for them to, first of all, create a film that was really good. Like, I text you after the movie went off. I was like, man, they did that shit. Like, they held it down. They did what a lot of people look at as the impossible. You know what I'm saying? Right. Cause the shit is hard. Like, I couldn't even think about the task of trying to figure out how to just pivot an entire story because your main character is gone. Right. But y'all did that shit.
Yeah, I mean, for you to have already written the script already from the beginning, have it written already, then your main actor, the guy who actually pretty much created that whole world before you even came into the picture,
right?
For him to pass, and which is also a good friend. That has to be heartbreaking. It's so much so that he said, the director Ryan Coogler said he almost quit Hollywood altogether. But my big thing, my issue I have with people in general, specifically black people. So you have, of course, I don't want to make it a race thing, but you have people say, and I understand why you should recast the character. It's like, cool. But then the more you sit and you think about it, it's like, I think in our society, black men in general have been so easy to replace. You see it in entertainment. You see it sometimes with our own people. Black men ain't shit. I don't need black men. I can get another one of you. For Ryan Coogler and Disney and Marvel to say, hey, how about we're just going to step back? Everybody knows 10 years from now, 20 years from now, there'll be another Black Panther. But for right now, we're going to celebrate this individual person right here. Right. And to me, you get praise to that. Yeah. I praise you all for that. And then the movie's good. Yeah. But yeah.
Yeah, they did that. And I guess, to pick up where Chadwick's untimely demise happened, they kind of intertwined that into the story. Listen, they didn't waste any time, and I'm glad that they didn't waste any time. First scene, Chadwick is gone.
But first of all, we got to tell the people who win the motherfucker. We're going straight into it. You know how I like to do it.
Everybody in that motherfucker.
Everybody, but I want to give everybody they just do, man. So again, like he said, they bring everybody back. Directing and writing is Ryan Coogler. We got and Joe Robert Cole. He's also the producer and co-writer. Again, the movie stars Letitia Wright as Shuri, Lupita Nyong'o as Nakia. Mm-hmm. We got Denai Guerrero as Okoye. We got Winston Duke as M'Baku. We got we got Florence Kasumba as Ayo. We got Dominique Thorne as Riri Williams. We got Michaela Cole as Aneka. Mm-hmm. We have Tanak. I'm finna mess this brother's name up. We got Tanak Howard. I'm sorry, brother. Tanak. We'll just say Tanak. We got Tanak as Namor.
Killed that shit, by the way.
Yeah, he did. Man. We got Angela Bassett as Queen Mother Ramonda. And
killed that shit, by the way.
And we also have the voice of goddamn
Griot.
Trevor Noah as Griot. I love that. But yeah, that's the main cast, and Martin Freeman as well. I like
Daniel Kaluuya. Where the fuck were you at?
He's in jail, brother. He was in Nope. That's where he was at. He was in Nope. He was with Jordan Peele. But yeah, that's the cast of the movie right there, man.
That's such a star-studded cast. And going back into the story, shit, like I said, they wasted no time, dog. Like, hey, first scene, we're gonna let you know what it is. And I'm glad that they didn't do, to me, it wasn't corny at all. Because we automatically knew something else was gonna have to, a new reign was gonna have to happen. But how?
Yeah, me and you discussed that too. Yeah. In the trailer reaction. Yeah. I said, that's what it's gonna be. Yeah. And that's pretty much what it was. They didn't say it, but...
Yeah, they said it was like
it
was exactly what happened in real life. One thing that they did in this movie that I really appreciated, you could tell like in certain scenes where they would have one-on-ones, whether it was Nakia and Okoye's character, Angela Bassett and Letitia, they had individual scenes, one-on-ones, where you can kind of tell like the direction was, say exactly how you feel about Chadwick, or say exactly how you felt in this time. Because, you know, it was certain moments where like, yeah, you know, when he passed, I just had to get away. Like, I just had to step away from everything. And that, I could tell that was 100% how she felt at that very moment. And I felt like they just did a great job at doing that throughout the movie. So, like I said, they wasted no time at the beginning. He's gone. They had a dope funeral. Cleanest casket I've ever seen. Jesus, bury me in that.
I gotta stop you too. Uh-oh. Not only was it beautiful, like you said, they waste no time, and I'm glad they didn't. You go straight into the Marvel logo, no music. It's just a touching funeral. How is it that niggas is on the internet saying why was Captain America not at the funeral? What the fuck are you talking about? You're talking about a nation who are literally being attacked.
And not trying to be funny, but Wakanda, Black Panther movies, if y'all are noticing in the first two movies, like these are movies that kind of stand alone. Right. Like they're not really heavy on having like a co-person in there to run the storyline, like an Avenger or something. No, we just gonna handle our business in Wakanda, and I definitely appreciate them for that.
If because anybody should have been there, Bucky White ass should have been there, and he fucked up in the TV show, so he couldn't be there. Right. But I hated that. Go ahead. I just wanted to say that. Go ahead.
You're good, man. So at this point, no king. We don't have a king. We don't, and shit. Not only do we not have our king, we don't have our protector, the Black Panther. We are just Wakanda's shit. Really, for lack of a better term, we out here for real. Like we just out here. And the world knows this. The world knows this, and they feel like Wakanda is a little weak. So what they try to do, I forget what country this was, but they sent like a little attack. France. They sent like a little attack to a Wakandan little site that was on the coast somewhere, trying to get some vibranium. You know what I'm saying? And they showed up at the. It looked like a United Nations meeting or something like that. pulled up with all of the captives. Like, yo, y'all tried to go crazy with us. Hey, we gonna bring them right to your front doorstep.
Exactly.
And we were just delivered like such a great speech from Angela Bassett's character. Like, she went so crazy in this movie.
She was feeling herself, bro. She did a shoulder by night. I was like, look, she's feeling herself.
I'm the queen. She said, I'm the queen. I said, hey. She said, I'm the queen. Our king is dead, but we are not weak,
when
nigga.
She walked in there, like, the way she looked when she walked in there, like, all right, like, I gotta put on. I love that.
Hey, I ain't even gonna lie, bro. Whenever I hear the little music switch up and do like a yo,
I love that.
Yo, I'll be like, yeah, it's about to get real now. It's about to get lit, man.
Exactly. I absolutely love it, man. I do.
So yes, they think that shit is sweet in Wakanda, but Queen lets them know that it is not. We don't have a king right now, but the Queen is here, and I'm running shit.
We still here.
And I know that T'Challa was trying to open shit up, but I don't really feel like we should really do that for real. Let's switch shit up. Like, I don't really.
We're gonna do it, but we're gonna do it the way we say.
Differently. Yeah.
We're gonna do it the way I say.
So of course people don't really like this. And then what happens after this shit? Oh my God, we introduced to the ops. And I loved the job. Let me just say right now, I love the job that Namor did in this film. They did a great job. They did a great job at, what did I say, Namor?
Yeah.
They did a great job at just making a good ass villain. Like, sometimes that can
not
be
villain, antagonist. He's an antagonist. He's not a villain.
I want this Disney ran Marvel to get back to fucking villains, man.
No.
I'm gonna say that.
I'm
tired of antagonists that get along with niggas at the end.
I'm gonna argue with you with that.
It's a Disney movie.
Specific. No.
Kill niggas.
Black Panther is. I believe I was thinking this. Black Panther is the only franchise in these movies where the antagonist. I think that everyone else has a villain. This is more of an antagonist, and I think that's why I like the movies more. But yeah. So you say it's an introduction to Namor and his people,
and they did a great job at introducing it because it was real. Like the vibe was just real eerie. I didn't know what was gonna happen. It's one thing when you bring in like the element of water, which is just all throughout this film because shit, the nigga's a fucking sea serpent with damn feather legs and shit. So the enemies are now coming from water. This is a whole like underwater civilization tribe that got their powers through
the heart shape, bro. So what happened is the people now find out, the government, the US and all these other people find out that there's also vibranium possibly in the ocean as well. So they're going to find that. And Namor and the people of Talokan are like, no, fuck that. We don't want you fucking around here at all. I don't want you to find this. So they attack a ship sent by the government, and that pops off, and of course they think it's Wakanda. So it goes from there, and then that leads into a situation where there's like, well, who built this? Who built this vibranium seeking machine? And we come to find out it is damn
19-year-old girl.
A 19-year-old girl, yes.
Riri Williams.
Right, she's a genius. She studied under Tony Stark and everything in the comics. So they found, of course, Wakanda find out that they have to go get her. They found out actually by Everett Ross, and then they have to go get her. And then also Namor and them, they actually try to go get her, the interceptor as well. And so it's a whole action scene with that.
Hey man, they don't lack in action. I think one thing that I will say, it was no lack in the action, even though the Black Panther didn't come to the very end. And that I throughout the movie I was like, they're doing it. Like they're really still holding me in. Like one thing I will say that them chick warriors. See, they carried this shit, man.
Well,
they carried it this time.
They also helped carry the first movie, and that's what I said before.
They carried the king.
I never felt like the movie was in any type of danger, because the smart thing about the brother is that he wrote and they created characters that you like from the beginning. Yeah. So had they not created a full characters that you actually can relate to, and then you just say, hey, now these characters are being bumped up, we'll be like, who the fuck are they? Yeah. You know what I mean? Who the fuck are they?
So, of course, like Kevin said, Namor is also trying to go and find Riri. So, they have a crazy action sequence And they ultimately end up taking Shorty and Riri.
Mm-hmm.
They end up taking them down to their world, and this is where we see the underwater world of, I'm gonna mess this all the way up, Telecon.
Yeah.
And I ain't gonna lie, it's beautiful down there.
I
I'm
like
this
it.
shit is fire. The music they was playing when they was on the way to get there, I was like, this shit is fire, man.
I didn't like that
Creating
song until I saw
vibe.
the song in the movie, and then I was like, whoa,
And it makes sense.
It's beautiful, and it's like you would assume by the trailer, oh, this is gonna be like Avatar, or this is gonna be like what's the other movie? Aquaman. But then when you see it, it's like, oh no. This looks as in something you would see if this actually happens. These look like people. It's dark as fuck down there for the majority of the time, and it was great.
And this is a whole civilization of people that are doing things on their own. People don't know about them. Not gonna lie, Kev, sounds a lot like the people of Wakanda.
That's what sets the confrontation up in the movie. That's why I say he's more of an antagonist. He's no different than maybe King T'Challa or anybody else. It's the same thing. It's just a flip side version of that. That's why when you see the poster, it's the flip side. Now he might take it a little further, but that's what I'm saying. That's
Hey man, once he start talking to Shorty, I ain't gonna lie. That whole part, I'm looking at the movie and I'm like, these two motherfuckers is open as hell to each other. They look like they want to fuck on screen. They ain't even gonna catch
Man,
it.
them chicks on the internet are wilding right now. Them chicks on the internet love that dude right now.
But
bro.
not that whole little sequence between Shorty and the more. I'm looking at this and I'm like, he definitely like her for real, and she like him for real.
Nah, I don't know about real life, but I mean,
no, I'm talking about in the film. In the film,
okay.
they're definitely like smitten towards each other.
No, I think what the character, I don't know. We're gonna go for the gas.
Giving her bracelets and shit.
I think the character is more like, hey, he's trying to reason like, hey, we're no different from you.
Yeah.
But we need this person dead because tell them what's going to happen if they figure out that we're down here and we're the same. But she's like, nah, because she has this with Riri. She's like, oh, that's a young black girl like me, and she's smart like me. Of course, she's a little older than when we first met her.
Yeah.
And she's like, no, that can't happen. And he's like, well, you can't go back. But luckily, the queen has already had that set up to her being rescued by the war dog Nakia.
Let me just say, these niggas move fast, cause it's like once Shawty, once she sent Nakia on a mission to get her. He's down there talking to her. He gets a message to say that, hey, the queen is up there in the real world to talk to you. He goes up, talk to her. Nakia's down there to get her, and he doesn't even know. He comes back down and he's like, oh shit.
And you know what I like about this? I'm gonna tell you the one thing.
What?
This is not a comparison to the first movie or this movie. Every scene, anything that a character did something, you literally was like, what's getting ready to happen next?
Right.
Everything had a consequence of what was getting ready to happen next.
Yeah.
And you were on the edge of your seat. But like you said, again, Nakia had to come down there and get her after Okoye unfortunately lost. Oh. Well, I'm sure he really volunteered herself, but she went. And so, of course, when they get back
that
to
scene,
boy. So, of course, Nakia saves Riri and Shuri. And then when Okoye gets back, Mrs. Queen Mother Ramonda gives like a incredible speech and then demotes Okoye.
So you a regular, you a peasant now. Get out of here.
Right. But just think about what this meant. That I'm assuming that I don't know the full of what the Dora Milaje and what they have to do to get through it, but you got to think about it. Her whole life is centered around this. You took this young girl out just to kind of get her mind off her brother. Not only did you lose her this time, you lost her and her brother 5 years previous to this, before. So it's like, damn, I can't keep up
with these niggas.
No, I can't at all. So it's like, am I good at my job? Which we know she is. She can't help some of that stuff.
Put that spear in her hand, it's over with. It's a wrap.
Right. And I love that speech. That was crazy how they how they cut that speech up and you didn't know how that. But yeah, man. So, you get Shuri back.
And now it's war, because now it's an issue. You done took Shawty back, and more importantly, you killed one of my...
And you killed some of my people.
Killed one of my people!
Right.
In the process. You ain't have to do that shit, but you did. Now, I gotta come for Wakanda. Like, I just got to. So, They come for Wakanda. And like I say, the presence of just water. One thing that scares me more than anything is water. Not gonna cap to you. Like dying by water. Wow. Terrible way to go. So he comes through and damn near tries to flood Wakanda. And this is starting like shit, Wakanda now seeing Namor and what he's capable of. He's coming through, he's wrecking havoc, going crazy, and Baku thought he had it. I see Serpent Man. Hit him right in the chest and he didn't know what the fuck to do.
He was popping big shit. But you saw how his attitude changed the next scene though, right? His attitude changed and gave him you notice he literally called him Fishman up until after he punched him. Then he called him by his actual name. Then he didn't fuck around no more after that.
Hey, it be
He's
like
he gets the respect now.
Now, the shit that I did not expect was for him to pull up to the queen. He did say I was going to come and kill you. He did say that. But for him to come and actually like live up to the promise, the theater was not expecting that. I promise you. We was not expecting that. So to see that the queen is gone, one thing I will say, phase 4, Marvel ain't had no problem getting rid of niggas. Like,
no, I'll tell you this.
We gonna get you out of here.
While the filming of this movie came out, of course, I see a lot of that stuff. I heard a lot of rumors and a lot of leaks. And one thing I will say is, even when you hear a lot of these things, you don't know. You take everything with a grain of salt. But when you see it, that's one thing. Is like, oh, okay. Like a lot of that, more than half of that stuff, I kind of knew. Yeah. But it's different when you hear it and then when you see it. Yeah. So yeah. That was an amazing scene, and because it was dope because he didn't go directly in there to kill anybody. It just didn't, because really she drowned by trying to save Riri Williams. Exactly. So that was one thing, right? But it was so cold because he said, "Well, Princess, now you're the queen.
You're the queen now."
So he literally said, "Hey." I couldn't get anybody else to talk. Me and you talk. Now I'm putting you in charge. So what's good?
Make something shake. What we gonna do now?
Exactly. That was some cold shit.
Oh boy. So now at this point, man, I'm feeling bad for Shorty because she really has nobody at this point. She literally is at the funeral.
A few years ago.
She said anybody that truly knew me is gone now. And I'm like, bro, she is literally like. When you think about the throne, it's just her. That shit is kind of scary to me. So we think. Right. But you see it and it's just like, damn, it's
you lost
just
your
her.
Dad, your brother,
and your mama.
Right.
Shit, man. Right. You like you about to lose your fucking country.
Right. It's going that route.
So what do we have to do now, man? Hey, at this point, shit, the heart-shaped herb that we tried to recreate, because Killmonger fuck boy ass burnt them all in the first fucking film. Now we have to try to recreate that. It didn't work when I was trying to recreate it for my brother, but damn it, we have to make this shit work now because our country depends on it. Our civilization depends on it. Shit, humanity may depend on this. So, she get to work on that.
Right. And luckily, the only way that heart-shaped herb was able to make it was because Namor had given her a bracelet that was made out of vibranium. So unwillingly, he gave it, and he didn't know, that she was trying to do that, and she did it. It was so smart, and she did it. And then, just as a side note, there was a book that came out probably about a year or so ago, where in the book she had already been trying to already created before we knew he was sick, or actual Chadwick Boseman was sick. And there's a line in the book that was published called the Wakanda Files. There's just Shuri writing in like a diary talking about all the superheroes and all this other shit, contingent plans and shit like that. So there's a line in the book which is uncanny that says, "I think I have found it. Hopefully my brother will let me do some DNA tests using his DNA." And when I read that line and then I saw the movie years down the line, I was like, whoa.
They make that shit connect in some way, somehow, man.
That's eerie because
they do it.
The way that was written and then what actually happened, you put two and two together. It's like, wow.
Yeah. So she recreates this heart-shaped herb. She gets this power, and now she's trying to get back to the ancestral plane. Also, some more shit that I wasn't ready for. We all contemplated on. We all talked about speculating about Killmonger coming back and being a Black Panther, taking up the mantle. No, he comes to her in the ancestral plane. Takes everybody by storm. We're like, wait, huh?
Again,
what?
This is something I had heard of. This is something I had heard about. But the way I heard about it was, and I thought it was really goofy when I heard it. Oh, he's going to come in. He's going to teach her how to fight, be a Black Panther. I said, it's bullshit. But then when I saw
how long is she going to be asleep?
Right, but when I
fuck?
saw the scene, it made 100% again.
Yeah.
It makes sense. I guess the theory is that when you go into the ancestral plane, the person, not even the person you think about, but like something deep down in you conjures that specific person. So right now, her mind is just
My mind is revenge. My mind is fire, my nigga. My
so
mind is
obviously they send
Killmonger.
They send him. They send him, and he's like, "What you gonna do? Your daddy wasn't shit. Your brother ain't shit. You ain't shit." So
he said,
what you
"I
gonna
am
do?
the shit."
Right? What you gonna do? And again, you mentioned there's so many parallels, so many different themes in this movie and visuals in this movie. So a lot of times you see Talika and you see the water. Another thing you see is fire. So fire, that was Killmonger's big thing. I'm gonna burn the world down.
Yeah.
I'm gonna burn this heart-shaped herb. One thing that Shuri says, I'm gonna burn the world.
Yeah.
That's why when you see the throne room, that bitch is on fire. How does she destroy Namor? Using heat, fire. That's how you destroy water. It's so many visuals in this movie. But yeah, so of course he gets summoned because she's pissed. So she's like, fuck. I love how I assume that her journey would parallel with T'Challa's, which it does, but it also parallels with Killmonger or Eric,
which is
Ninjaga,
cool.
whatever his name. Yes, which I thought was dope because again, like you say, T'Challa, his father was killed. He went for revenge. Eric's father was killed. He's going for revenge, but also, and it just parallels so many different ways. Yeah. So she comes back. She has the power to Black Panther.
She's the Panther now, baby.
She's pissed because she thought she was gonna see her brother. She thought she was gonna see her mother or something like that. Yeah. So she's kind of pissed.
But at the same time, still using that same power is like, we gonna make something out this shit at this point. So now, what I'm saying, as we doing all these Marvel movies, now it's time for the big payoff fight scene. It's time to kill some niggas. It's time to make some shit shake, baby. So, the plan is to draw everybody from Talokan out to the sea. So we can just duke it out, you know what I'm saying? So that's exactly what they do. And the Black Panther shows that she is here, she's alive. Namor is like, all right, y'all have a Panther now, cool, let's fight. And we get a great fight sequence, man. And in this point, we figure out, hey, this nigga is made out of watery stuff. Let's dry this nigga out. So she takes this nigga out to the desert, lures him out to the desert, and they end up having a cool fight scene. And the people of Wakanda and the people of Talokan are still having their fight on the ship, and it's just super dope. Riri is out there kicking ass. Everybody is just going crazy. And what is the name of this army? You name them. You pronounce it very well.
What the
Dora Milaje?
The Dora Milaje, yeah.
Dora Milaje. They come through with these new suits, and they're going absolutely crazy.
The Night Angels,
Angel Walker, they call it.
Yeah, that's based on some characters from the comic book that they actually wear those suits and stuff. I think they're going to have a spinoff show. Okoye's going. I think they're going to have that's probably what they're going to do. Yeah.
She should definitely have a show.
Yeah, I love how they kind of work that in. She didn't like the shit, of course, and I love that.
With all the power that shit possesses, it's crazy.
They're like, no. She had to whoop that ass first, though.
She
had to whoop that ass first, and then say, "Hey, okay, I whoop your ass. I'm gonna let you stay." She pretty much it damn near mirrored T'Challa's first fight with M'Baku in the first movie. He's like, "Hey, look, if you yield, I'm gonna let you go ahead and go back to your people." It was the same thing. It was like, if you yield, you go back to your people, and then I go back to my people, and we go back. Exactly. And say that exactly. That's why when you said it's a villain earlier, I was like, nah, he's more of an antagonist. Cause
I ain't gonna lie though, ain't no way you kill my mom and I'm gonna let you live to walk around the streets as an ally, man. You getting your block knocked off. Yeah, we going for.
They showed. But listen, you got to think about it. They showed what happens when you go for revenge. They showed what happened. Yeah. M'Baku says, hey, look, we can kill him. But this is not going to stop. They're going to keep coming, and we damn near got our ass whooped now.
We're going to run into another problem.
Right. Exactly.
Kang's going to show up soon.
Exactly. So yeah, I love that. I love the kind of, and it took me a minute. I was like, why are they showing all of this stuff we just saw again? And I didn't realize I saw it the second time. Oh, they're showing the similarities of these characters and these different sections of life. And then I thought that was so dope. But yeah, I love it, and I think that's why I love Black Panther in general. But I love this section of movies in general because it's not like so clear cut what it is.
Yeah. So we get to some sort of resolve. We're allies now. Everything's all good. And of course, this is the part where the movie is over, where you gotta sit your ass in the seat. See, what I do is I just research the movie right before it's released. You can simply ask the internet, hey, how many post-credit scenes are there in the movie? They'll tell you, hey, it's 1 and then it's 2. Like, they'll let you know. So for the niggas that don't know how long to sit in there, I be laughing at y'all, because, like, the answers are at our fingertips. So at the first post-credit scene, which there's only one in this one, we learned that T'Challa had a son, which is interesting, but because just like the whole timeline of things, people easily forget about, like, people like, why is he that old? Like, why is he that? The blip, nigga.
Right. Not only that, but you got to think about when the blip happened. It was 5 years after that.
Right.
So really, these movies probably take place. They don't take place in this exact time.
For sure.
So in that time, it's like
5 years ahead.
Here. So it's like 2000 and whatever the fuck. It's like it's not in the same time frame at all.
Which, honestly, considering that, I think that they're setting up for the Black. Do you think that they're setting up for the young one to? Because I mean, they can easily find another young dark skinned boy to play.
Well,
do you think they're gonna age him?
The same actor.
Do you think they're gonna age up the storyline faster to get him to like 18?
I have no clue. Even they might. I think. One thing I have noticed with a lot of Marvel movies right now, people say, well, I don't understand what they're doing. I've seen what they're doing.
They're going straight into the comic books at this point.
If you look at a lot of the movies, they're bringing in a lot of the younger people, a lot of TV shows, a lot of the younger people. Unfortunately, they probably brought the younger guy and all these people in this particular movie a little sooner than they expected or they wanted to.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, they might be bringing in the young Avengers, the new Avengers, or whatever they call it. They may bring him in. They may have, of course, they'll do a whole bunch of other Avenger movies, and then he may be 17, 18 come time. Maybe a new actor, maybe the same actor. Doesn't matter, probably. But yeah, they'll do that. Yeah. Yeah. But I do want to say what leads up to that scene. I think is very important to say, since we've been going hard as we have been going in the beginning of the movie. In the middle of the movie, Queen Mother Ramonda is trying to get Shuri to reconcile with come to the conclusion that her brother's dead, just kind of remember him in his honor, move on. She doesn't want to burn the clothes. That's a tradition. She keeps going past it. So she finally gets to the beach and does that. Yeah. And so now she's smiling. Then they show flashbacks, and now she does it. Ironically, as soon as she does that, then Nakia comes in with the child and say, hey, this is, I forget his Haitian name because they're in Haiti. Toussaint, that's what it is. Toussaint. But his Wakanda name is I
laughed so hard at that part because he literally said, hey, I'm Prince T'Challa, son of King T'Challa. Yeah. And I took that as, hey, I'm the prince when I get 18. Bye.
Yeah, because it's probably in his mind. He knows it because he's not really, because he knows exactly what it is. But yeah, I think that's a really dope. I thought it was really dope, and it's watching it again. I saw it the second time. They were setting it up so perfectly because you see the little boy in the opening movie but you don't think anything about it. You
don't, yeah.
You see the little boy. Then when you see Mother Ramonda come in, you see him holding his hand, walking him over. You don't think anything about it.
Right.
There's a scene when they're talking. He's like, hey, she says to Shuri, I have to tell you something. Then the elephants go crazy.
Yep.
So it's like, what is it?
It was a good setup.
Soon as she relieves it, then she comes out and say, hey, you have somebody else. This is your nephew.
Seeing it twice definitely made a lot of the points, a lot of the dots connect that didn't connect the first time. But man, such a phenomenal film. As far as sequels go, y'all far exceeded my expectations. Man, like y'all did that shit.
I got a bone to pick with niggas though. I got a bone to pick with you, Hotep niggas.
Hotep.
And as much as I'm